What's good, y'all? It is Freaky Friday.
And today we're talking about stepping out.
Welcome to the Renegade Relationship Realists with Rev-N-Rachael Pierre McAllister and Rachel Dilling. Please be advised, this channel is rated R for realism.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rev-N-Rachael.
And today we're going to talk about stepping out.
So stepping out on who exactly?
Well, we're going to start off by talking about stepping out on ourselves and what that means. And because I think sometimes we get into a situation where we feel one way, but we're doing something else. And we're talking about Freaky Friday here, so obviously we're talking about sex. I know when I was much younger that I had this concept that if I was dating somebody that I needed to have sex with them.
Okay, so that obviously must have come from somewhere.
Well, it was, remember this is like the late 80s, early 90s, and if you, being 20-something and being a virgin was like, oh my gosh.
Where, it was?
It was.
I was a little older
I
by
know,
then.
yeah,
Okay,
I know. So being in that situation, and actually, remember we were teaching that class, and one of the people in the audience said one thing they wish they would have been taught was that they didn't have to have sex if they didn't want to.
Right.
And I think that's what I'm talking about, is knowing that I don't have to.
Now, see, and I come from the other generation, so it was very clear in my mind that we went out the first time, second time, until I decided anything, nothing was about to happen. It was very clear in my mind. Never did I think I went on a first date and thought I had to have sex with the person. Absolutely. I don't care how much money they spent, because that was not on the table.
Well, and the first date, I agree.
Okay.
I would not have had sex with somebody on the first date. But I remember going out, and we were going on a weekend trip. And I remember saying, now I don't want sex to be an issue. And he said to me, oh, it won't be. It's not an issue. And in my head, I was saying, I don't want to have sex.
I thought that's what you were saying.
Yeah. And what he heard was, we're not going to worry about it. We're going to go ahead and do it. It's fine. So we got there, and we're on this weekend trip, and we're out to dinner, and he says to me, he said, so maybe tonight we can go back. And I went, I thought we agreed that it wasn't going to be an issue, that we're not. And he's like, oh.
Interpretation.
And then he shut down. And I went, don't go away. Inside my mind, I'm thinking, he's not going to like me anymore. He had this interpretation. Even though I thought I was clear in my communication, I was obviously not. And so I ended up doing it.
Oh.
And I was completely out of integrity with myself.
Yeah, you stepped outside.
It was, I did not walk away from that weekend feeling pretty inside. Or pretty outside, for that matter.
For that matter. I hear that. When I think about stepping out for myself, it's kind of the same thing. When I think about sex, I actually think about stepping out of integrity when I'm doing, if I was to do sex acts that aren't comfortable for me, that don't work for me.
Right.
And instead of saying to the person, no, or that's too far, or that's not enough, or it's not good enough, whatever it is, keeping my mouth shut and just going along with the flow when I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
Because here's what happens when for me, if I was to do that, I'm not gonna see him again, and it's really not his fault.
No.
It's mine for not saying I'm uncomfortable. Hold up, no, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
So it's too bad, because then I possibly miss out on some great gifts or some great dates or whatever, because I haven't been
connecting with somebody.
And integrity with myself and speaking my truth, right, to that person. Especially when it comes to the sex act, because the sex act is so personal, so intimate. Right. So if I can't be in integrity with me during that stage, I have no business entering into the act in the first place.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I mean, I totally agree. I think that it's really important for us to be in a place of integrity when we're going in to perform an act.
Yeah.
But then there's that element of, if I'm in a relationship and there's an integrity between me, I have an agreement with my partner, and then my partner or I decide to go and do something other than what our agreement is. So stepping out can be something very different than just me not being stepping out of my own integrity with me about sex. It can be a partner stepping out on their agreement or their relationship.
Well, anytime someone, think about this though.
Okay.
So when we step out on our agreement, it seems like we're stepping out on the other person. That's what it seems, and it's really not true.
Right.
Because I don't care how good that was out there. You're carrying it in your mind, in your head, your heart. You're looking at the person. You know something's not right.
Yeah.
And for many partners, the other partner is very intuitive. And so they know something's wrong. They may not know exactly what it is.
Right.
So now you've messed up a whole relationship.
Is it worth it?
I was about to say, for that 10, 15 minute or half hour, whatever it was it really worth it? Yeah. Years that you carried with someone else? Or just the whole vision of where you wanted to go with someone else and you totally ruin it? Because, no.